Let's do the saved.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
Mistake, sorry.
Revelio.
The pink Smedleys will always look upon you as a trusted ally and friend.
Oh, hello. And your reading is the dragon. That's exciting, I suppose. Perhaps you're due for an adventure.
Ladies,
Professor Shah.
astronomy is not divination. You won't find the mysteries of the cosmos charted out on your palms or at the bottom of your teacups. Alas, the heavens remain hazy to the starry-eyed. Now, if you were to devote yourselves to persistent and painstaking observation, you just might catch a glimpse. With that in mind, please take your telescopes. Tonight we will be on the observation deck. Still don't have your own? You can't be the new student forever, you know. you can share with Mr. Takar.
Here, I can adjust that for you.
No, bring it into focus on your own. Now, I expect all of you to put in your stargazing hours outside of class. Is that clear?
But, Professor, it's freezing out.
Mere cold didn't stop the great stargazers of the past. Look only to the astronomy tables they erected throughout the Highlands, from which they gazed millennia ago on the very self-same stars above us. Is that clear? Dismissed.
Hello. I don't believe we've met officially. I'm Amit. I'm something of an astronomy buff.
Hello, Amit.
Did I hear Professor Shaw say that you don't have your own telescope? I have a spare one.
That's very kind of you, Amit. Are you sure you won't need it?
I'm certain. It's my old one. I finally got my hands on the new Celestia Contemplar. You've heard of it? It's only the pinnacle of all personal stargazing. Goblin-cut glass, first-rate optical enchantments. Hate to think such a fine instrument is just collecting dust.
Well, thank you, Amit.
Think nothing of it. I have some, reading to finish on the lower deck. Come find me there afterwards, and...
Tried to put off my stargazing as long as I could.
Amit.
Sitting in the storage room.
Thank you.
The fuck?
This was his old telescope.
Looks perfect.
A pristine.
The perfect night for...
I have the telescope.
I would not offer a prospective stargazer a third-rate lunoscope.
Yes, what is it?
You remember those astronomy tables Shaw was going on about? It just so happens, and it seems there may be one right here at Hogwarts.
And you need... No need to come...
Brilliant! Shall we?
Cringe.
The table is on a castle wall ahead. Look for a stone platform. Something that doesn't quite...
Revelio.
We'll know it when we see it. Onwards we go. Some say the locations of the tables were originally marked by centaurs for ritual stargazing. It is nice having a fellow stargazer to explore with.
Happy to be here. It is good to leave the classroom now and then.
It's not that creepy out here at night, is it? Here I am, charging ahead. Why don't you lead the way?
If you're sure. Revelio.
A little foreboding.
A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing to be concerned about.
Oh, of
Incendio.
course. Just not as tidy as I expected.
Amit, could I ask you something?
Oh,
Why are you so fascinated?
I suppose because there is so much to learn about them. I mean, there is plenty to learn about a lot of subjects, but astronomy seems limitless. They are forever discovering new moons and stars. In fact, they discovered a new planet just 50 years ago.
Actually, Revelio.
Oh.
Revelio. Confringo.
More cobwebs. You don't think any spiders might be lurking about?
Oh no, not this close to school, I mean.
The constellation should appear near the center of your view. As soon as you've lined up the telescope, we will be able to fill out our star chart. I was right about the tip, and your contribution.
Thank you, Amit. I look forward to
This is only the beginning. You will find more tables like this one throughout the grounds and forest, all beckoning. And if I have ever seen one, it's you.
That's quite generous.
You are welcome. Incredible!
Just a second, guys.
What are you up to now?
Anything to do with the dark art should be avoided. It's too risky.
Anything to do with Salazar Slytherin is worth the risk.
I can't agree. And I'll not say a word more. I'm sorry.
I won't give up.
What were you and Ominous speaking about?
He's being ridiculous. Apparently Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here in Hogwarts. Ominous swears it was used for the dark arts, so he wants nothing to do with it. I reminded him that Anne needs a cure. This scriptorium could hold the answers we need.
The dark arts do pique my interest.
There's more to dark magic than people realize. The Gaunts know this, better than most. Perhaps I've spoken out of turn. Ominous's family history is personal to him.
I'd like to know more about it if you wouldn't mind telling me. I won't repeat it.
Very well. But do keep this between us. Ominous learned dark magic from his parents. Are you familiar with the Cruciatus curse?
What does the Cruciatus curse do?
It's known as the torture curse, Crucio. It inflicts intense, excruciating pain on the victim. Apparently, his parents and older siblings had no qualms about casting it on muggles for sport. Ominous described the sound of the victim's cries as horrific, so the first time he was asked to cast it himself as a child, he couldn't bring himself to do it. As punishment, his family cast it on him. The anguish was so bad that when asked to cast it again, he relented. I have repeatedly assured Ominous that he did what he had to, but he still hasn't forgiven himself.
How horrible. Poor Ominous. He was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself.
After that incident, the rift between Ominous and his family only grew. That is until I came along. Every moment he isn't at Hogwarts, he's with us in Feldcroft. Ominous trusts me. And more often than not, he winds up listening to me. I'll remind him of that when I follow up about the scriptorium. Watch for my owl. I'll have news soon enough. I'll make Ominous understand. He'll change his mind.
Oh, is this Wakanda forever?
Hello, Samantha.
I am. Shall we begin?
Yes, I'm ready.
It's not? What the fuck is this?
Accio! What was I thinking?
Accio!
That was sensational! Accio!
I'm professional, girl.
Yes! How am I to top that? Accio!
There's nothing you can do, girl. Because I have a team. Just...
Yes!
Accio!
You'll have to do better than that. That settles it, then. After your poor show against Natty in class, I thought I could beat you. Appears I overestimated myself.
Don't say that, Samantha. You're a fine player.
Well, that's very kind of you. Let's just say if I'm good, then you're better. I happen to know who you're up against next, and she's...
Sorry, girl.
Why not? I think it's nice to be
Revelio.
in old diaries and see what you were doing in the past.
I keep a diary.
Can I help you?
I believe you can. I'm Sophronia, by the way, and I need help from someone who's at least a 5th year. Are you familiar with Herodiana Byrne? Don't answer that. Of course you're not. No one seems to know of her but me. She's only the single greatest Depulso master of all time. Even taught at Hogwarts, briefly.
How interesting. I'm amazed.
It's a travesty she's not more well known. I often read about great witches in my limited free time. There are many. Whilst reading about her, I learned that she built a secret Depulso training room here at Hogwarts. But in typical clever Herodiana fashion, one cannot access it unless one knows Depulso, which of course, 3rd years aren't taught.
And you're a 3rd year, so...
Quick one, aren't you? Would you get Herodiana's signature outfit and show it to me?
If you tell me where to go, I'll see what I can...
Simply go to the Hall of Herodiana. It's at the base. There, you'll... I can't wait to see Herodiana's famous ensemble. Perhaps I'll make myself a copy.
Suppose I should look for that secret hall Sophronia told me about. It does sound interesting. Accio! Wingardium Leviosa.
Fuck.
Glacius. Confringo. Incendio. Levioso. Descendo. Revelio. Descendo. Incendio. Depulso. This must be the entrance to the Hall of Herodiana. Hall of Herodiana. Better go inside and find those puzzles. Revelio. See if Herodiana Byrne was as good as Sophronia said she was. Accio! I see. A switch reset everything. Good to know. Accio! That wasn't too hard. Wonder what's next. Accio.
range.
I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Just one left. Accio! Depulso! Accio! Accio! That's the last of them. Seems I was a match for him. And this must be the last piece of Herodiana's ensemble. It is remarkable. No wonder Sophronia wants to see this.
And a historian's uniform.
Hogwarts has brought me in the city.
Sophronia, I solved all the puzzles in the Hall of Herodiana.
Incredible! Then you found Herodiana's outfit. May I see it?
Of course. Behold.
Oh, how grand! You'll look as majestic as Herodiana herself. You're my second favorite hero.
Carriage.
Resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Arresto momentum. I'll look after you. Revelio. Arresto momentum. Revelio. Arresto momentum. Settle yourself. I mean you no harm. Revelio. This place has seen better days. Revelio. Incendio! Shame I didn't have an audience for that one. Revelio.
Over here, quietly. I am glad that you received my owl. We need to stay low and remain quiet.
Natty, what's going on? Why are we all the way out here?
As promised, I did some investigating to find out what Harlow is up to. I followed him to the Hog's Head. I noticed him reading a letter, and...
No, they didn't. Rookwood and Harlow are after me. Professor Fig told me to keep things quiet, but I know I can trust you, Nat. Rookwood and Harlow want something Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts.
When were you at Gringotts?
Just before I came to Hogwarts. In fact, a portkey brought us there after the dragon.
What on earth?
There's one more thing. I think so. I'm still learning.
Oh, she's shooting with Wakanda forever.
Can't we just bypass Officer Singer and go directly to the Ministry?
Do you think they will listen to a student? Only Officer Singer can start an investigation. The Ministry will come in later.
You seem to be very...
I knew men like him in Uganda. I know how bad...
Uganda forever.
I'll help you find the...
I do not see any guards, but we should still try to be as quiet as possible.
Revelio.
Revelio.
I wonder what that does.
Debolso.
That did it.
Revelio. Lumos. Wingardium Leviosa. Oh. Leviosa. Revelio.
I need to find a way into the gatehouse to open the gate for Natalie. Dead end. Must be another way in. That looks as if it might raise the gate.
Depulso. Levioso. Revelio.
Jesus Christ.
That looks as if it might raise the gate.
Wingardium Leviosa. Depulso. Wingardium Leviosa. Depulso. Wingardium Leviosa. Depulso. Arresto Momentum. Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Depulso. Levioso. Depulso.
Ascendo! Accio! Depulso! Accio!
Well done. I will be right up. I knew you could do it. This way. I will get the door. Loco, Mora.
Revelio.
That is the main keep. My guess is that we'll find Hallow and the letter inside. We'll need to be careful once we get...
I hear them.
Yeah, restrain the beast!
Highwing.
Do you know that hippogriff? Very well.
Kill him.
New plan. I get the evidence and you free that hippogriff. Agreed? This is our chance. Go!
Blast it! There's gotta be another way to get up to the roof. Somewhere. I hope Natty stays out of trouble. Revelio. Depulso. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa. Not the safest place to sneak into. Revelio. Trifficus Totalis. Revelio. Trifficus Totalis.
Ha! Loud as a...
Aloha Mora. Revelio. I hope Natty's having an easier time of it. Aloha Mora. Revelio.
all going home in a wooden box!
Time to teach someone a lesson! My mother used to always...
Beat one, mate. In beneath you.
Perfectus totalis.
This ain't it. Levioso! Would you like me to put you down? I'll bet that one. Levioso!
Also. Hello, Gamora. Revelio. No, Deke was right. We need to save you from these barbarians. There. I'm not going to hurt you. Revelio. Depulso. Revelio. Revelio. Depulso. Highwing, it's all right. There we go.
There you are.
Come on.
Hello, Gamora.
Hurry. Oh! There's the Hogwarts Express. Must be returned. Past the Highwing!
It's incredible, isn't it?
How exciting.
It was exhilarating, wasn't it? I wasn't sure we were going to make it out alive.
There was no need to worry. I had it all under control.
Were you able to find the letter?
Summoned it straight out of Hallow's hands. I will say, I did not expect to see him cast the killing curse at us. He won't forget this. Be on your guard.
Of course.
That Rookwood's looking for a phoenix. Not sure where he will find one. But it also included Hallow's orders to inspect that castle for the poachers. Enough to connect Hallow to the crimes. I shall deliver the letter to Officer Singer. She'll have to do something when she sees it. Now, tell me, where did you meet...
I've only met Highwing before. Poppy introduced us.
Poppy Sweeting knows a hippogriff. Poppy will be relieved to know that Highwing's safe. My mother will be worried. I must...
Highwing, go!
I have learned of a wizard who is being harassed by Hallow. He may be able to provide the evidence we need to take Hallow down. We should speak with him together. Meet me at his home.
When you have a moment, please stop.
I assume you have news regarding the goblin you mentioned. Why don't we meet at the map chamber to discuss that and our next steps?
Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you wanted to tell me more about the loom.
Ah, hello. Yes, about that, Deke has had a thought. He... Seems the room thinks you need more space for your beasts. As Deke was saying, he's had a thought. Now, Deke knows how you can test the item of clothing that you in, and perhaps help an old friend in the...
What do you mean?
Tubbs' master doesn't let him leave the cave, and Deke knows the cave is infested.
That sounds awful.
It is. Deke hasn't... As the item you wove in the loom has an enchantment that might be useful, Deke thought you could...
I understand.
Oh, thank you. Please let Deke...
Revelio.
Pressed ominous regarding Salazar Slytherin's scriptorium, but my efforts were in vain.
Revelio.
Inside the Slytherin common room, so I need to talk.
Revelio. Descendo! Depulso.
Hello.
Revelio.
Dick thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
What did you need me to...
Deek's friend, Tobbs, collects... As the item you wove in the loom has an enchant...
Nice to see you, my young friend.
Wonder who lives here. An astronomy table. Should prove useful once the sun's down.
Confringo! Levioso! Descendo! Incendio! Revelio!
This must be Tobbs's cave. I suppose I should head inside.
Incendio! Levioso! Descendo!
There's a victory that came none too soon.
Confringo! Revelio!
Tobbs' master is awful.
Confringo!
Tobbs? Tobbs?
Deke sent me. Are you in here? Incendio! Confringo! Protego! Incendio! Levioso! Descendo! Incendio! Confringo! Levioso! Descendo! Incendio! Revelio!
Looks as if Tobbs was here some time ago. He must have headed deeper into the cave.
Incendio! Confringo! Descendo! Revelio! Confringo! Levioso! Confringo! Levioso! Descendo! Incendio! Confringo! Revelio! Confringo! Levioso! Descendo! Incendio! Confringo!
That didn't sound particularly reassuring.
Levioso! Revelio! Descendo! Confringo! Incendio! Incendio! Confringo! Levioso! Descendo! Incendio! Revelio! Confringo! Incendio! Incendio! Confringo! Rebellion! Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Confringo. Oh no. I have a feeling that house elf is Tobbs. Poor Tobbs. Left here alone with the spiders. Revelio. Confringo. That table looks familiar. Seems I'm back at the entrance to the cave. Revelio.
arrest their momentum. Professor Howard will never believe this. Revelio.
What about the shrivel fix? Bet you don't have the porcupine quills. No, I do. I have everything. When are you going to try it?
I'm back from the cave, Deke.
Wonderful. Deke hopes you gave Deke's best to Tobbs.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Deke, but Tobbs is gone. It seems he was unable to avoid the spiders in the end.
Oh my. Deke was afraid of this, alone in that cave for so long. Oh, poor Tobbs. Deke and Tobbs once shared the same master. When he died, we were separated. Deke always wished Deke will miss his friend dearly and will raise it.
I'm truly sorry.
Thank you. Deke could use some time alone to... Deke thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
You're here. Brilliant.
I received your owl. What happened with Ominous?
I told him none of us will be able to avoid dark magic forever. So the more we know about Salazar... Unfortunately, only a Gaunt's knows the location of the Scriptorium's entrance, and Ominous won't tell me.
Perhaps I should have a chat.
You? I know where he is. I'll lead you to him. He's this way. Keep an eye out. Never know who's watching. Although that hasn't stopped us before.
Strictly speaking, it has. We were caught.
Damned poltergeist. Such a nuisance. There he is. Good luck.
What are you doing here?
Hello, Ominous. Do you have a moment?
What is it? What have you and Sebastian been up to now?
I owe you an apology, Ominous. I wasn't on it. He wanted me to have a safe place to practice some spells, to try and catch up to the other 5th years. He didn't think you'd mind.
I suppose that makes sense. It's just Sebastian's been pestering me lately about something and I'm frustrated with him.
Don't tell me he's still going on about... what was it? A scriptorium?
He told you about that?
He did. We were talking about our house founder and he mentioned it. Wouldn't say much more, though.
Yes, well, he seems to think it contains the answer to saving Anne. I think it's likely full of dark magic that is better left untouched.
Wait, you've never been inside?
Of course not. I only know about it because of my favorite aunt, Noctua. She thought like I do. Didn't agree with the family on the use of dark magic. In fact, she'd hoped to convince my family that there was more to Salazar Slytherin than worshipping pureblood status. She'd heard of this scriptorium and thought its contents might shed some light on him. She even found the secret entrance in this very corridor. She wrote regularly to my father about her efforts to gain access, and then she simply vanished. No one else ever tried to enter.
I'm sorry about your aunt. Don't you want to find out what happened to her?
Aunt Noctua went down this path with good intentions and lost her life. I don't want the same to happen again.
You don't know that history will repeat itself. Besides, you said your aunt thought like you. This could honor her memory. Get you answers about Slytherin and Sebastian answers for Anne. Your aunt pursued this alone. We could do it together.
I see what you've done here, and I confess, you've convinced me. I didn't think it possible. I hope we don't regret this.
Sebastian! Over here.
These braziers grant access to the scriptorium.
Now you'll share?
Confringo!
You wouldn't tell me when I practically begged. Something's happening.
I hope we're ready for this.
Revelio! Reparo!
The rubble formed a relief of a person facing a snake.
That must be the voice I hear. The voice is ancient.
You hear a voice?
It started when you repaired that relief. I hear a whisper saying, "Speak to me." I'm a parcel mouth. I can hear and speak to snakes. Nearly all known parcel mouths are descended from Salazar Slytherin.
I wish all Slytherins could talk to snakes.
You might not want the ability to speak parcel tongue. It's often associated with dark wizards. I haven't spoken it in ages, but I'd wager if I speak it now, the door will open. I'm hoping you're having second thoughts.
Believe me, I am having thoughts, but I'm still convinced we should go ahead.
It's ironic. When I left home, I vowed to leave the dark arts behind. I can't believe I'm doing this.
It worked! Ominous, you possess a rare ability indeed.
Between the two of you, I'm starting to feel left out.
Between the two of us?
Never mind. There's no clear way forward.
Like a maze. Salazar
Revelio.
Slytherin most likely wanted this to be
Incendio.
The door we came from, it closed. And there's more than one gate ahead.
Confringo!
Then look closely at each gate for clues.
Incendio! The dial requires focus.
Aunt Noctua said the same. It may take practice to solve it. That didn't sound good.
Salazar Slytherin didn't make this easy.
Matching the symbols did open it.
Was about to do that myself, but you got to it first. Nice work.
Another gate.
Seems Slytherin like to play games.
Must run in the family.
Look in a mirror, Sebastian. That sounded promising.
Another dial solved.
Impressive. Nice work.
Revelio.
Another... not the welcoming sort, was he? Every dial seems to be getting more difficult.
Incendio!
You've made it this far. Don't give up.
Revelio. Noctua references painful and arduous challenges, but also rewards.
Painful. That's the part
This
I'm
journal entry, it mentions getting lost and being unwelcome.
Poor Aunt Noctua.
We've got more to solve ahead.
Search each corner. May not be obvious which leads where.
Revelio. Ominous. Your aunt wanted to change your family's traditions.
She did. And she was my favorite person in the world for it.
Excellent work. We're another step closer to the scriptorium.
Revelio.
I spotted something ahead. Looks troubling.
This whole place is troubling, but for my aunt's sake, we cannot stop now.
The gate! I think we're locked in. Again.
Then Salazar Slytherin is not yet finished with us.
Ominous. A skeleton. And Noctua's last journal entry. She mentions being trapped here, blocked by an unforgivable curse.
This is where she died. This is where we'll die. I shouldn't have listened to either of you.
Ominous. I'm truly
Revelio.
sorry about your aunt. But I know what to do. It's going to be difficult.
You said you know what to do.
Tortured faces on the door, and Crucios etched into the stone. My guess is if we cast the Cruciatus curse, the door will open. That's why Noctua died. She had no one to cast the curse on. Ominous has the most experience with this. He should cast it. You seem to be in Ominous's favor. Will you ask him about this?
You know him better than I do.
Very well. Wish me luck. Wish we had some liquid luck. Ominous, I know this is the last thing you want to do.
Yes, it is. I thought you knew me better.
But this is different. Whoever you cast it upon would have agreed to it first.
Accio.
It wouldn't be an innocent
Incendio.
We have to open the door.
The spell won't work unless you mean it. That's true of all unforgivables. If it must be done, then one of you must cast it.
What do we do now? Ominous is not going to cast the Cruciatus curse again.
Ridiculous. As if dying in here is a better option than casting a damned spell. It's up to us. I can teach you Crucio, or I can cast it on you.
Wait, you didn't say you knew how to cast Crucio?
Because I'm not sure I do. Ominous knows that, yet he's left us no choice. I don't yearn to follow in Noctua Gaunt's footsteps. I think I can cast it if I have to.
I want to learn the curse, but I won't cast it on you. You need to cast it on me.
I shan't forget this.
Ready? I'm ready.
Are you all right?
That pain, it was excruciating. But I'll survive. Let's keep moving.
We made it. We found Salazar Slytherin.
I can't believe we're here.
Sebastian, Ominous. There's a book, just here.
You found something.
You two go ahead. Let me know what's in it. I'll wander around a bit.
May I have a look?
What do you think?
Looks like a spellbook of some kind. This is incredible. A Hogwarts founder's possession. What an honor. Still can't believe Ominous never told me about his aunt and what she found.
What will you do with Slytherin's spellbook?
What I do with every book. Read it. Having professors as parents ingrained that habit early on. But I can do that later. For now, I say we explore this room. It's breathtaking.
I've been getting an uneasy feeling about this place.
Revelio!
I don't want to leave, but I owe you. Both of you. Without both of you, we'd never have made it this far.
We were lucky. We could have died. We must swear never to do this again.
I see a way out.
Best news I've heard all day.
Ominous. About your aunt.
Please, Sebastian. I meant what I said before. Right now, never to engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
Understood.
Confringo!
I'm truly sorry about your aunt, Ominous.
Incendio!
I suppose after all this, I am grateful to know what happened to her.
Confringo!
Guys, this is it for this episode. In the next one, we're gonna do The Lost Child and Back to the Path. See you in the next one. Bye.